Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And the SPAC done sputter out. The SPAC sputtered out. BuzzFeed.
SPAC without.
Oh God, BuzzFeed was going to list themselves publicly as part of a SPAC. They're going to have the BZFD.
That's what they're
ticker.
calling it.
Yeah, BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed.
Okay.
And it did not go well. They were hoping to raise $288 million. They raised 16.
Oh, we said we were worried about this for good reasons.
Yeah, so things aren't looking too good for BuzzFeed. And on top of that, they've got their employees walking out in protest. They're unionized.
Oh, you mean when you have a bunch of unionized people that, a lot of them are
Activists?
Yes. And then they're not gonna let you do what you want to do with your company? What a shocker! Who saw that coming?
Yeah, so this is not good. I wondered how this was going to play out because I'm like, BuzzFeed is pretty worthless.
This is worse than I thought it would play out.
Oh God,
though.
yeah, this is way worse.
I mean, this is way worse than I thought that would happen.
Some partners actually pulled out.
Oh.
BuzzFeed suffers wave of SPAC investor withdrawals before going public because it's a worthless brand.
SPAC, I just can't. It
SPAC.
hurts. Can I just call SPAC? I mean, I know it's SPAC, but
people do call it SPAC, and I called it SPAC in videos, and people are like, "Yeah, no,
you know what?
investing."
I'm sorry.
It's called SPAC.
I don't care if it's called SPAC. I don't SPAC and care. I'm calling it SPAC because SPAC to me just sounds like something like disgusting, and I can't do it. I'm sorry. It sounds like I'm spitting. Excuse me, I have to SPAC. Well, I can't do it.
I thought that was the brand of their vibrators.
SPAC?
BuzzFeed SPAC. You can't whack it, SPAC it. All right, and they can't hack it. BuzzFeed can't hack it. So we're gonna talk about that. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 244,000 subs.
Yay!
And
Woo!
we do talk about the media because BuzzFeed is sort of one of the floundering fathers of clickbait journalism.
Yeah, pretty much.
They sort of set the tone for a lot of sites to follow. And they're desperately trying to make money now. So now they're going to beat the bush.
But they're
SPAC.
They're beating for SPAC.
Fishing for some SPAC.
Anyway, but other companies were worried too because they said if this went south, it was going to probably not look good for them. They wanted to do this as well because they're going to be like, well, BuzzFeed couldn't do it. Why do we think you can?
Yeah, and there are some problems over here at Vice too, unrelated but also related. That all these media companies that hired, activist types. I'm going to be honest, they hired activist types over the last couple of years, and now they're all calling for unionization. They're calling for better terms, and meanwhile, the money is running out. So you can't really spread the wealth when you don't have any wealth to spread.
That's true.
See
what happens here?
Yeah. So let's talk about this. This is coming from the street. Like I said, I knew this was going to go south.
We did.
I did not know how bad this was going to be.
It's worse than we thought.
This is embarrassingly bad. BuzzFeed's SPAC raised only $16.2 million ahead of much anticipated IPO.
SPAC.
IPO is an initial public offering. That is day one launch for their stock.
So this is ahead of that, though.
Yes.
But still, I would expect
it's not good. News publisher BuzzFeed, which is set to go public next week on Monday, has so far raised only $16.2 million via its special purpose acquisition company,
SPAC.
890 Fifth Avenue Partners, a tiny portion of the original $288 million they're fishing for.
Well, they also have, this is before they go live.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to get that either.
The SPAC company, 890 Fifth Avenue Partners, said its stockholders approved the proposal that will collectively give BuzzFeed $166 million. So they also got $150 million in convertible note financing. That brings it up to $166.2.
So they got a loan.
Yeah. And they're still over $100 million short of what
That's not how you start off. Like, okay, guys, we're going to go public. But we started out with most of our money in a loan so they can say they look good. So if this person they hadn't reported here on the street.com, would they have come in being like, oh, look, we have 166 already?
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. BuzzFeed's likely going to complete the acquisition of Complex Networks on Friday. That's a sports thing they bought, and they're selling shit there too.
So they're selling off everything to try to get this money. Yeah,
complicated deal. This is my understanding. This is the last ditch effort to save BuzzFeed because they're in a downward spiral at this point. They've laid a bunch of people off. They bought the Huffington Post, which was failing miserably.
They bought the Huffington Post, but it was an all-stock offer.
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't have any money.
So it's just...
Yeah.
Then the Huffington Post, or whoever they bought the all-stock offer, boy, they're going to be up the shit's creek too.
Mm-hmm. Investors are going to look at this and they're going to be like, what exactly does BuzzFeed have?
Well, other than being like, affiliate links, Tasty, whatever they're, not to be confused with their sex toys and, their videos. That's about it. Their blog videos.
Yeah, because we did the other video we did on BuzzFeed. They were, saying that they're they were a tech company, but their e-commerce fell off a cliff last quarter.
I think they're trying to spin it as, we have these algorithm things. And that's why they're tech.
We're going to sell our clickbait farm generation tool.
Well, they have that actually.
They do.
That's probably, maybe that's not worth the millions they're asking for.
So the Wall Street Journal first reported BuzzFeed was having difficulty receiving funding for its market listing.
They were difficulty getting SPAC. A lot of men have that problem. It's okay.
BuzzFeed can't get it up. That should be the title of the video. BuzzFeed can't get it up.
There you go.
BuzzFeed had originally touted 890 Fifth Avenue partners for committing $288 million in cash trust to the IPO.
But they aren't now?
No, they're only giving them, the 150. So, this is bad. Wall Street Journal. BuzzFeed suffers wave of SPAC investor withdrawal before going public.
I hate SPAC withdrawal.
So the investors pull out. BuzzFeed can't get it up. Investors pull out.
There you go.
There's no SPAC.
I can't take you anywhere.
There's no SPAC. Yeah, it's not going to go very well for them. So CNN Business has it.
I just realized what you said. BuzzFeed can't get it up. Investors pull out, and there's no SPAC.
There's no SPAC. Well, there is, but it's not as much SPAC as there would have been.
Okay.
BuzzFeed votes to go public amid staff walkout. This is yesterday. So their staff walked out too.
So the investors voted to go public, and then the staff walked out.
Yeah. So coming from CNN, BuzzFeed, the digital media company known for its lists, quizzes, and journalism, also vibrators.
I thought it was a tech company.
A tech company with Amazon affiliate links.
I don't see tech company listed there.
It's going public, and its debut on the NASDAQ will serve as a bellwether for the rest of the media industry's financial futures. There isn't a future. I'm sorry. A lot of these sites, like Mike, was one of these new millennial media sites that popped up, and it sold for $5 million. Like an individual. For the cost of a house in California, you could buy an entire media company.
Yep.
That's how little. And look what happened with Gizmodo and Gawker and all that crap. They were worthless. And they had to look for a buyer for 2 years or some bullshit like that. Nobody wants these websites. So the shareholders with the SPAC approved a merger with BuzzFeed on Thursday. BuzzFeed will also close its acquisition of Complex Networks. Their ticker is going to be BuzzFeed.
BZFD, yeah.
Should be Spunk.
No,
SPAC.
You can't use SPAC as your ticker.
BuzzFeed raised about $16 million from the SPAC deal.
SPAC.
The SPAC deal, the Spunk deal.
Please stop.
Which is far less than anticipated. When BuzzFeed announced its plans to go public in June, said there's $288 million in cash waiting for them. But the vast majority of investors withdrew, as the Wall Street Journal reported earlier on Thursday. BuzzFeed also raised about $150 million in debt financing.
Basically loans.
For a total expected raise of approximately $160 million.
So wait. They have to raise all this money to get on the ticker. So their answer to raise all this money, which I'm sure this is what other companies do too, so I'm not going to just, call them out for it, is to take about half the money they need in debt. Yes. And that doesn't seem to me like a good way to start out.
It's like maxing out your credit card to start a business. Yeah.
As people who invest in things, I don't think that would look like a good thing to invest in, but I know from the get-go that half the money is still owed back.
Yeah, it's bad. And I think a lot of warning bells were going off. I know when we did the video, people were kind of like, what the hell is going on with BuzzFeed? And then they had the other shoe drop, which is, hey, we've got this great e-commerce business. And then it fell off a freaking cliff. Oh, well, that's because Google doesn't like us anymore, guys. Honest, that's nuts.
What it was.
People aren't reading your damn shitty website anymore. And you don't have anything else. You basically just make a bunch of clickbait. And that's not a sustainable business model. And also you sell evil puzzles at Walmart.
They do. Don't buy the devil's pie.
A tasty puzzle, yeah.
It was a tasty puzzle. It was food, and they call it the devil's pie.
There's lots of spack in the devil's pie.
No, there's no spack in the devil's pie. That's the problem.
Oh, I thought you said there's no spack in the desert pie.
I
I'm
was
like, it's
going to
because
say
it's dry.
devil's pie. Anyway.
Nobody likes dry pie.
So wait, so what is it about the people that are they're protesting or whatever?
Before the decision was even finalized, a key tension in the industry was on full display earlier in the day in preparation for the vote that will take the company public. Some of its staff members staged a walkout to call attention to ongoing issues regarding bargaining for their union contract.
To be fair, though, I don't know how many staged a walkout. If 2 people do it, they're like, oh, they staged a walkout, but it could be a lot more.
The massive Netflix outrage.
Right.
Walkout.
I mean, it very likely is more than that, but they're not saying how many that is.
These journos, these very well-paid journos, a lot of these BuzzFeed journalists, somebody, talked about what they're making. They're making like $150,000
for the BuzzFeed?
For like BuzzFeed, yeah.
Jeez Louise.
I mean, they're living in like New York, but still, it's like.
Well, here's what they're pissed about. We've been bargaining our contract for almost 2 years, and BuzzFeed won't budge on critical issues like wages. All I'm preparing to go public to make executives even richer. Well, if they're getting paid what you say they're getting paid.
Nobody's getting rich here, guys. Nobody's getting rich.
And here's my next thing. Okay, look, I get it. I am personally for the workers, usually. But when I see this, it kind of like annoys me because it's like, well, they wouldn't give us more money than they've been giving us, even though our revenue has been going to the gutter for years because we aren't bringing it. But, they're going to get richer because how dare they when they build it and own it?
This is funny. We're walking out to send a reminder that there's no BuzzFeed news without us.
And nothing of value is lost. Did anybody notice?
You know what their selling points are? Not BuzzFeed News. E-commerce, merchandise, ad revenue.
That's
for listicles and shit like that. Their video products.
Mm-hmm.
Not BuzzFeed News.
No, they don't care.
They don't care.
They're trying to obviously swing away from that.
There's not going to be a BuzzFeed if BuzzFeed can't raise any money. Do you guys not understand this? Like, they don't understand. These journalists don't understand.
Well, this is not just this in general. Like, these websites keep losing people because the way that some of the journalists behave. I use journalists in quotes sometimes. And then when the website can't pay them more, can't do what they want, they demand the moon. And like, but it's not fair because you're getting richer or we're not getting paid more. And it's like, but you weren't carrying your weight to begin with. I mean, I don't know the numbers for BuzzFeed, but I see this all the time. And I think if people are legitimately being mistreated at work, there's definitely a reason for unionization and for them to step in. But if it turns out to be that the pay rates are what people say they are, and the number of the money has gone down and down and down because it's not getting the views it used to get.
Right.
You don't get to sit there and demand that stuff. And then like, how dare the people who built this whole damn company get rich off of building the whole damn company when I'm not getting paid more for my listicle articles? How dare they?
BuzzFeed had been heralded for its ability to attract younger audiences.
When, 10 years ago?
10 years ago, yeah. Covering trending news in an accessible and engaging way. It gained the interest of legacy media outlets, including NBC, which invested $200 million in BuzzFeed at a valuation of $1.7 billion in 2016. Mm-hmm. And yet, here we are.
Yeah.
How the mighty have fallen.
If they'd done this a few years ago, maybe.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But now it's too little too late.
BuzzFeed later struggled to meet the demands that came along with its high valuation as it competed with other media companies, along with tech platforms such as Google and Facebook for advertising dollars.
That's the big part of it right there.
Yep. Facebook also implemented news feed algorithm changes that cut audience traffic for many publishers, including BuzzFeed. And, they're talking about how their views are down. So
that makes sense. Because come to think of it, you used to see stuff all the time on Facebook. BuzzFeed, like their videos and
quizzes.
Their yes, all the time.
Like that, yeah.
I haven't been.
No.
Now that you mentioned it, I never thought about it because that's how much it meant to my life. But now I'm thinking about it, and I haven't seen any for a long time.
BuzzFeed and its fellow digital media companies of the 2000s have grown up, or in some cases, blown up. Some found their exit through mergers or acquisitions with other media companies. Mashable sold to Ziff Davis. Bustle bought Mike, for $5 million. Vice acquired Refinery 29. Vice is not doing well either. Mm-hmm. Pop Sugar joined Group 9 Media, and Vox merged with New York Media. They're all merging because they can't survive.
But mergers, they usually get sold off and they merge, and then the people who started it are free to take their money and go.
Yeah, but the thing is that these business models were never sustainable. Like, they were basically coasting on venture capital for the better part of a decade.
Wait, I have to laugh. Look at the correction at the bottom.
Correction. Due to an editing error, a previous version of the story mischaracterized the size of the staff walkout.
I joked. I said, when it's like 2 people? I was kidding.
There's no BuzzFeed News without
I
us.
was kidding. I didn't even know. See,
Oh,
I don't know if there's two, but I knew it. They weren't specifying how many. And I'm like, well, they're not specifying. If there was a significant number, they would tell you that.
Yeah.
When they say that some people walked out, that usually means it's not very many. So I just think that's funny because I would love to know what the original was because we mischaracterized the size of the walkout.
Dozens of staffers walked out. I mean, a dozen staffers walked out.
It's funny too because, or was it they started out with a dozen staffers and what's it that Ellis says now?
They
don't say.
Yeah.
But what's funny to me is they talk about this headline and they're like, BuzzFeed votes to go public amid staff walkout. And you have to go clear the heck down like halfway or more through the article to find out anything about the staff walkout. And at the bottom is a correction. Well, we mischaracterized the size of it. That's okay. BuzzFeed, a lot of people lie about the size when there's SPAC involved.
Yeah, BuzzFeed mischaracterized the size of its audience, I think, and its value, and now they're coming up
Like
short.
I said, a few years ago, they had a lot bigger audience than they do now.
Yeah.
And part of it could be Facebook, because now, like I said, mentioning it, I don't see that stuff anymore, and I used to see it all the damn time.
Yeah, Facebook, they're so gun shy about news now that they, everything's got a disclaimer. They're downplaying some of the news outlets. I know even when we would promote our Disney blog on Facebook, they were like, well, we don't know, guys. This one might not get seen because it might be too controversial.
Well, pretty much anything's controversial.
Yeah.
So anyway, it is what it is. We'll have to see next week what happens when it does go public and see. Maybe they'll get the money. But it does not look good when like you're bragging about your pre 166 million ahead of your launch, and 150 million of that was a loan.
A credit card.
And I think I have to wonder if people didn't point that out, would that have been widely known, or they just been like, well, we already got more than half of it already, or half of it already, go us.
Yeah. Good luck with that. I don't think they're going to last. I give them 5 years tops. They'll get bought by some other media company.
Well, I don't think the investors think it's a good move because they all were pulling out. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and if they fail, then other one like Vox and Vice, and they
were all worried about it because they're saying this is going to set the tone for what happens to us. Bustle, Vice, all them. Mm-hmm.
Good luck with that.
Have fun.
All right,
you get your SPAC.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.